optimistic about the growth prospects of the economy heading into the new year. He made the comments during an interview with the Business Report.
Well, based on what we're seeing in all the prudential indicators and in the macroeconomic indicators, the market is definitely improving in terms of outlook. We're seeing more consumer confidence. We're seeing people coming back out and making inquiries, in some cases going past that and actually doing transactions. Driven by the whole large-scale projects we're seeing, for example, the Wyndham and all these major tourism projects that are now coming on stream, there's a whole upside to that, and we expect that once these come into being, that the improvements that we're seeing on our books, that those will continue and follow right through to 2016. So in terms of the forecast that were made about continued growth, we subscribe to the view that there will be continued growth through the course of this year.
At the same time, he acknowledged that the question of debt will still have to be tackled.
At this point in time, given what's being done in terms of closing the fiscal deficit and the work that's being done around the level of debt and constraining the government borrowings, we think that that's a step in the right direction. Obviously, the level of debt, the absolute level, would remain a concern given where it is currently, but the fact that there are not a whole set of new borrowings that are taking place and that we're seeing a lot more of the items being bought to the local market for consideration as opposed to the international market, that's a good sign, and it's something that we consider to be positive.
Government is expanding its ability to be more efficient in delivering services through the internet. This comes with the addition of the Ministry of Civil Service to government's Wide Area Network, or WAN, agreement with Digicel. The deal was signed this morning at the ministry's headquarters. The $2.4 million project is aimed at providing a more cost-effective way for government to offer services via the internet. So far, there are 32 interconnectivity sites that will be supplying internet to about 70 government buildings, including some statutory corporations. Speaking before the signing, General Manager of Digicel Business Solutions, Martin Keogh, says the new project is one of international standard.
Prior to the implementation of our fibre optic network, the public sector, as the PS had mentioned, had 12 separate and disparate WANs. They were running at low speed and had little or no interconnectivity with each other. It was therefore our objective not just to meet the exacting standards that was set out in the tender process, but we wanted to exceed them. The specification sought by the government in the tender for the 32 sites identified was exceeded. In so doing, Digicel Business elevated the government network infrastructure not only to the highest international standards, but it's the highest specification implementation that has ever been deployed on the island of Barbados.
Yet another local commercial bank is poised to introduce the new chip and PIN technology for credit cards. Managing Director of Scotiabank, David Noel, says the new EMV chip technology will replace the existing magnetic strip cards.
The machines used by merchants will change. You will have a special chip on your card, but before you can access funds, you also have to enter a PIN, a personal PIN number that no one else has, and that provides an additional layer of security and also convenience. So for our customers who travel to Europe now, that technology is already commonplace. Those of you who have been traveling to the US in the past 2 months would have seen merchants rolling out those machines and people using those cards. Well, our Barbados customers would have those credit cards available by the end of 2016.
Well, here's a look now at how stocks traded locally and regionally today.